Hi, I'm Jim Kavanagh, also known as the Polemicist online. I want to do a short video on the real concern I have about what's happening in Gaza. We all, of course, can see and are outraged by the absolute horror that Israel and the United States are visiting upon Gaza. The question that I think is an urgent one for everybody to face is, who'll stop Israel? Who'll stop the rain of Israeli bombs on Gaza? Who'll stop the extermination and expulsion of the people of Gaza? Because it's underway, and it's already happening, and nobody is stopping it. I know that we all say, and it's true, that Israel is losing credibility in the international community, that it's becoming a pariah in the world, and that this, in some fundamental way, weakens the viability of the Zionist project. But that's in the long term, or even the medium term. That is not stopping and will not stop what's happening in Gaza now and during the next few weeks. You know, Biden is saying, he's going to give the Israelis the beginning of the year as the deadline for stopping their armed action. Well, first of all, he's not going to stop anything. Israelis aren't going to pay any attention to him, and he will continue to support the Israelis as long as they want. But secondly, 3 more weeks of this, and things are going to change even more dramatically than they have. Let's recognize with a cold eye what Israel is doing and has already done. It has already made northern Gaza unlivable, and it is in the process of doing the same thing in southern Gaza. It has destroyed the entire material civil infrastructure of life, from apartment buildings to hospitals, to libraries, to universities, to mosques, to government institutions, etc. And it has destroyed and killed deliberately a large part of the intellectual and cultural infrastructure of Gaza. It's killed its doctors, it's killed its journalists, its poets and authors and their families. Israel is not going to stop doing this and will in fact intensify it. Israel is not going to stop killing Gazans ruthlessly. It is saying to the world quite clearly, and everyone should understand it, you can either watch us kill Gazans or you can save their lives by taking them away to a better life. We are not going to stop killing them. We are not going to stop because the American politicians ask us to. We are not going to stop if there's a UN declaration demanding that we do. We are not going to stop because we are losing credibility and support among the peoples of the world. We are not going to stop until we have killed or expelled enough Gazans to satisfy us that we will never have a problem ruling over Gaza as part of the Zionist project. And we will do what we did in 1948. If you want to save Gazans' lives, take them away. By all means, we will not object. Israel has deliberately created a situation in which the countries of the world are faced with 3 choices. 1, watch Israel slaughter the people of Gaza, thousands per week, and do nothing about it. Talking doesn't count. Having meetings with the leaders of Saudi Arabia and UAE and Russia and China and Iran is not yet doing anything. The Israelis will not stop and are not stopping. In the next few weeks, they will destroy even more. So the first option, which is what the countries of the world are doing now, is watch Israel slaughter the people of Gaza, thousands per week, and do nothing. The second option, which Israel is making almost necessary, is take away the Gazans, allow them to have a better life elsewhere. We want the Gazans we don't want them going back. There's nothing left for them in Gaza. There's nothing to go back to. There will be nothing to go back to. There is nothing to go back to. You take them to other countries, 20, 25,000 per country, 50,000 maybe in some big countries. Why not? You don't want to see them be killed? Take them away. We won't object to that. We'd love for the Gazan people to go and have a nice life somewhere else where they won't be subject to bombing at our whim. Take them away. And that's going to become something soon, in the next few weeks, that is going to become kind of inevitable. The countries of the world are going to have to choose. What are you going to do? So you take them away for humanitarian reasons. And don't kid yourself. Listen to the American discourse on this. The declarations from Kamala Harris and Antony Blinken that, quote, there must be no forced relocation of Gaza and its people. Well, it won't be forced, they'll say. We're not forcing anybody to do anything. They'll be offered a better life where they will never again have to worry about being bombed by Israel. Those Gazans have nothing to go back to anyway in Gaza. They'll have better lives elsewhere than they ever will, living under Israeli control, which Israeli will never relinquish in Gaza. So let them go, take them away. What country that's concerned about the Palestinian people, as well as concerned about its foreign debt, which the United States will wipe away, wouldn't want to offer the Gazan people that help? What Gazan family who's been displaced 2 or 3 times, who's had family members killed, and wants to protect its children from further violence would not voluntarily embrace the possibility of starting a new life, no longer filled with such fear and horror? Will every Gazan family refuse that for nationalist reasons? Who can blame the ones who accept it? It will take one country and 1,000 Gazan families to accept that deal to get the ball rolling inexorably, to get started the narrative of this peaceful solution that works for both sides, that saves Palestinian lives and guarantees Israeli security. This is going to start happening, and it's going to start happening quickly. The Americans and Israelis are preparing it, and they're putting it forward as a possibility. So this is the second option that the countries of the world have, that Israel and the United States are going to give them soon in the next few weeks. The third option that's available to the countries of the world is for some party or group of parties to intervene quickly and forcibly to stop this. Quickly, because it's developing very quickly, and it's going to come to fruition quickly. And forcibly, because the Israelis are not going to allow willingly anybody to come in and stop them from doing what they want to do. Now, of course, the United States could stop this. The Israeli general has said this week, all of our missiles, the ammunition, the precision-guided bombs, all the airplanes and bombs, it's all from the U.S. The minute they turn off the tap, you can't keep fighting. You have no capability. Everyone understands that we can't fight this war without the United States, period. So the United States has the power and capability to stop Israel. I understand that the politics in the United States is changing, but if you think it's going to change quickly enough to stop the Israelis from creating this situation of horror in the next few weeks and few months, in which the world is going to have to decide to either take the Palestinians away or intervene, then I just don't think that that kind of political change in the United States will happen that quickly. Something has to happen quickly and forcibly to stop the Israelis from creating a situation that has a logic of its own, and it will be hard to resist. We can't be content with thinking and knowing that in the long run, this is destroying the Zionist project, this is undermining the credibility of it, et cetera, et cetera. All of that is true, but it's not helping the Gazans. And Israel is going to create a situation in which they will have control of a largely depopulated Gaza. And that's going to develop in the next few months. And some third party or parties in the international arena have to intervene with enough force to overcome the resistance that will be there from Israel and the United States. If you're going to imagine that Israel will be stopped from killing Gazans, and that the people of Gaza, who have been shoved into a corner of southern Gaza, will be able to return to homes, schools, hospitals that aren't there, requires a major force to come into Gaza and rebuild all those things without asking the permission or accepting the limitations that Israel will put on that. That's going to happen only if there's a powerful force that comes in and forces it to happen against the wishes of Israel and the United States. So it can be an economic force with Saudi Arabia, Russia, China, Turkey. They can mobilize economic force. They can turn off the tap of oil if they want, and they can pressure the United States to stop sending those bombs, although it's going to take a lot of pressure. But even that economic pressure, it seems to me, has to have the threat of military force behind it. We are going to go in and rebuild Gaza, and you're not going to stop us. And that means you, the Israeli army, and the American weapons, and the American armada that's now in the Eastern Mediterranean, which is there in order precisely to allow Israel to do whatever it wants. And it's going to require some country or group of countries that has the power to come in and say, with UN authorization, however it is, UN declaration won't do anything. But if it's backed by the power of other countries who come in and say, we're coming in with a flotilla of ships that carry construction hardware, that carry food, medicine, and building hardware, I'm going to rebuild Gaza, and we're not going to allow it to be again destroyed by Israel, then that's what will stop this. But denouncing the crime that it is, pointing out correctly that it will undermine the credibility of the Zionist project and will turn most of the nations in the world against Israel, does not stop what's happening in Gaza. And it has to be stopped quickly, and it has to be stopped forcibly, or Gazans will be leaving Gaza. So the question that bothers me now, and that I'm focused on, is who'll stop Israel from doing what it's doing? We don't have a lot of time. The Gazans don't have a lot of time to sit around being killed and being pushed to live in tents and amidst the rubble. Soon, someone has to come in and start rebuilding the possibility of their lives in Gaza, or they're going to start leaving. Who'll stop Israel? Who'll stop the rain? That's it for me for now. Till next time.